you will still be our guest. Until then, it's bye for now.
Every time there is conflict and violence, women suffer loss. That is why the women of Nigeria are saying, let there be peace.
Let us love one another. Let us live together. We have no other country to go than Nigeria. Carry the message of peace to your walls. Carry it to your local government. Carry it to your states.
Let there be peace.
This message is brought to you by Rural Initiative for Poverty Alleviation, Development and Empowerment.
You asked for it, and now you've got it. NTA Entertainment, your 24-hour entertainment channel, showing on the Star Times DTT platform. NTAE, your one-stop entertainment channel.
Fascinating Nigeria.
Africa's biggest market. Extraordinary. Fascinating. Nigeria.
Boundaries and transits on the network service of the NTA every Wednesday at 10:30 p.m. Don't miss it.
The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community.
Ebola is something very special, that even if one case is recorded, it becomes an emergency situation.
The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it.
You asked for it, and now you've got it. NTA Entertainment, your 24-hour entertainment channel, showing on the Star Times DTT platform. NTAE, your one-stop entertainment channel.
Fascinating Nigeria.
Africa's biggest market. extraordinary, fascinating Nigeria.
The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community.
Ebola is something very special, that even if one case is recorded, it becomes an emergency situation.
The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it.
Boundaries and transits. On the
President Jonathan address returns to Abuja after addressing the United Nations General Assembly on a wide range of issues, including successfully containing the Ebola virus disease in Nigeria. And on the fight of insurgency, the Senate approves the $1 billion loan for the federal government, just as the House of Representatives wants ineffective population management to be investigated. This is the outlook on Panorama today. It is my pleasure to welcome you. My name is Isaac Nkuma. President Goodluck Jonathan has assured the international community that the 2015 general elections will meet global best practices so as to further strengthen the country's democracy. The president gave the assurance at separate meetings with the British Prime Minister David Cameron and the UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. State House correspondent Segun Lawale reports.
President Jonathan, during bilateral talks with David Cameron, the British Prime Minister, and the United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, before leaving New York, reaffirmed his personal commitment to ensuring that elections in Nigeria under his watch remain freer and more credible. And in keeping with his administration's openness and transparency in the conduct of public affairs, President Jonathan said international observers will be allowed to freely monitor the 2015 elections. He expressed appreciation for the continuing support for Nigeria's effort to curb terrorism and violent extremism within its borders, saying that Nigeria welcomes Britain's assistance in the areas of intelligence sharing, anti-terrorism, training and defense logistics. President Jonathan later met with the Director General of the World Health Organization, WHO, Dr. Margaret Chan, appreciating the support of the WHO and the successes recorded to contain Ebola virus disease in the country, stressing that Nigeria will remain vigilant.
So the contact between Nigerians and the rest of the ECOWAS is quite high.
That's right.
So we can't go and sleep and say that we are finished with Ebola. No.
That's right.
We are still working there, and our borders, the number of people come, and we have free movement of goods and services within the economic the zone.
The president also gave his commitment to eradicating polio in spite of the security challenges in the northeastern region of the country. Dr. Chan used the meeting to acknowledge the exemplary leadership of President Jonathan on the successful efforts to contain the spread of Ebola virus disease.
Nigeria is truly an outstanding example to show people when the country leadership is there, things can be done. Without country leadership, things are very difficult.
Would be telling your country, search, 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 and prove that it's gone, and keep that pressure on, because the danger always is taking the foot off the gas. And on polio, it's exactly the same thing. Search, 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 find this. Both of these will be done by the end of this year. No.
We're looking for teams from African nations who have experience of working with Ebola to come and help in the three most affected countries.
President Jonathan has since returned to Abuja. In the State House, Segun Lawale, NTA News.
Vice President Mohammed Namadi Sambo has commissioned a heliport for the Nigerian police constructed by the Enugu state government in support of securing the state. Hamza Musa Makarfi reports.
Followed the recommendations of the Joint Senate Committees on Finance.
We sincerely apologize for that mix-up. We'll bring you that report in the course of this bulletin. Moving on now, the Senate has approved the request by President Goodluck Jonathan to secure an external loan of $1 billion to tackle security challenges in the country. This is in response to the urgent need to upgrade the equipment, training and logistics of the armed forces and other security services to confront the Boko Haram terrorist threats. National Assembly correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
Approval of the presidential request followed the recommendations of the Joint Senate Committees on Finance as well as local and foreign debt that scrutinized the terms and conditions of the external borrowing plan. The committee observed that the loan facility request is not in cash, but for the supply of 12 helicopters, ships, armaments, and other hardware equipment to be paid for over a period of 7 years.
In view of the urgent need to restore full normalcy in the country, the Joint Committee recommends that the Senate approve the external loan in kind of $1 billion to tackle the ongoing security challenges.
Those in favor, say aye. Against, say nay. The ayes have it.
Attempt by some senators, especially from the opposition party, to stop the approval of the request was resisted by the lawmakers from the ruling PDP.
I don't want a situation where we leave these chambers and the public will believe that one political party is supporting a fight against insurgents and another political party is not supporting it.
To me, this is a serious enough matter, and we should take it in that respect.
The Senate also adopted the report of the Joint Senate Committees on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, as well as Interior, on the Criminal Justice Bill 2014. The bill seeks to make it mandatory for prisons to send periodic returns on prison inmates to chief judicial officers towards ensuring that people who are unjustifiably incarcerated are released to decongest prisons. The lawmakers also approved the nomination of Justice Chima Sentus Nweze by the President for appointment as a Justice of the Supreme Court.
The judiciary plays a major role in stabilizing democracy. The independence of the judiciary is very, very important, and we hope that it will add value to the Supreme Court.
The report of the Senate Committee on Aviation on the screening of Captain Mukhtar Usman for appointment as Director General of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, as well as the Conference Committee report on the National Health Bill 2014 were received. In Abuja, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And back to our earlier report, the Vice President Mohammed Namadi Sambo has commissioned a heliport for the Nigerian police constructed by the Enugu State government in support of securing the state. Hamza Musa Makarfi reports.
Amen.
The heliport is not only for the Nigeria police in Enugu State, but the state government said it is playing the big brother role as other formations within the southeastern part of Nigeria can benefit from the facility. Vice President Namadi Sambo said the partnership role by Enugu State government in building the heliport is role model for others to emulate. He said with steady development of aviation infrastructure in Enugu State, the vision of turning the state into a hub will soon come into effect.
With the commissioning today of this important facility, Your Excellency, your prayer has been heard, and the helicopter will be immediately posted to Enugu to cover Enugu State and the southeastern state in general.
Governor Sullivan Chime said the heliport is a promise kept by his administration in assisting the police. The Police Affairs Minister Abdul Jalili Adeseyon described the project as welcome development and appreciated the government of Enugu State for its contribution to development of Nigeria. About 170.7 million naira was expended on the project. From Enugu, I am Hamza Musa Makarfi, NTA News.
Still staying with security, the Senate President David Mark has made a case for the international community to continue to show understanding about the difficulties Nigeria is facing on account of security challenges. Senator Mark, who received the German ambassador to Nigeria, Mr. Mike Zena, said terrorism and insurgency are global phenomena that require concerted action to tackle. Adamu Sambo tells us about it.
The Senate President described as disturbing the impression some countries have about Nigeria on account of prevailing security situation. The challenges, he said, are surmountable, and the federal government is doing everything within its power to restore normalcy in the land.
I would personally plead with you and through you to the EU countries is to understand some of the difficulties that we face in solving some of our internal crises. But once you exercise patience with us and you assist as much as you can, I'm sure that we'll be over this in no time.
Both Senator Mark and the German envoy promised improved socio-economic and parliamentary cooperation between Nigeria and Germany for the well-being of the two countries. The Senate President also received a delegation of the Federation of Agricultural Community and Association of Nigeria, where he promised that the federal government will continue to encourage non-oil products and export promotion to create employment opportunities.
I just want to assure you that the National Assembly will do whatever we can to encourage exports of non-oil products, improve the economy of the country.
The leader of the delegation, Dr. Victor Iyama, urged the National Assembly to work on the modalities of ascertaining the growth in the non-oil sector. In Abuja, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has mandated its Committee on Population and National Planning to investigate what it described as ineffective management of Nigeria's population and recommend strategies to address the situation. National Assembly correspondent Aisha Tuzango Abdullahi reports on this and other legislative engagements of the House.
Debating the motion on the ineffective management of Nigeria's population, moved by Representative Benny La and 15 others, the members expressed the urgent need to address the pertinent issues of education, hunger, disease, unemployment, housing, illiteracy, and insecurity in the country in order to turn the population from a liability to a veritable asset.
Policymakers must develop an information-based approach for national planning.
The conference report on a bill for an act to provide a framework for the regulation, development, and management of a national health system and set standards for rendering health services in the Federation, sponsored by Representative Undudi Elmelu, was also adopted. Rising on a matter of urgent public importance, the Deputy House Leader Leogo drew the attention of the House to the heavy rain which submerged some parts of his constituency, Isoko North and Isoko South Federal Constituency.
The main demand here, Mr. Speaker, is for the immediate intervention of NEMA, for the relocation of these people and be able to provide them some level of succor.
Similarly, Representative Ali Madaki from Kano brought to the attention of the House what he described as incessant activities of armed robbers on Abuja-Kano Highway.
The Inspector General of Police and the Army Command to mobilize enough officers and men to carry out patrol and surveillance operation on the Abuja-Kano road.
The House later dissolved into the Committee of the Whole to consider reports by some standing committees, including that on a bill for an act to establish the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, provide for the engagement of Nigerians in diaspora policies, and for other matters. A political scenario that unfolded this Thursday on the floor of the House was the formal announcement by Representative Atiku Madaki from Niger State of his defection from the All Progressive People's Congress APC to the People's Democratic Party PDP. From the National Assembly, Aishatu Zango Abdullahi, NTA News.
To other matters now, but still under the legislative purview, the House Committee on Information and National Orientation wants the National Film and Video Censors Board to come up with a proposal to the National Assembly to strengthen its statutory powers to censor films, checkmate piracy, and internet pornography. National Assembly correspondent Kenneth Nanim reports that the committee visited some parastatals under the Federal Ministry of Information in continuation of its oversight functions. His report.
The
committee's visit to the National Film and Video Censors Board revealed the necessity for a review of the laws establishing the board to enable it combat the challenges of piracy and internet pornography adequately.
We feel there are amendments that are quite germane for them to perform optimally. And so if they make proposals, of course, the committee will be pleased to push and then make the necessary amendment for them.
The parastatals, including Advertisement Practitioners Council of Nigeria, APCON, Nigerian Press Council, NPC, National Film Corporation, NFC, and the National Orientation Agency, NOAA, complain of inadequate funding amongst other challenges as major setback.
The status that established us should place us properly within the structure of government and governance so that we can discharge our mandate effectively, creditably.
The only way I can do my job and for APCON to execute this mandate is we must have equipment not only monitor but to log and to archive.
The chairman of the committee, Umar Buba Jibril, appealed to the Federal Ministry of Finance to release funds to the parastatals as appropriated by the National Assembly to enhance improvement in the implementation of their budgets before the end of third quarter of 2014. In Abuja, Kenneth Nanim, NTN.
In the meantime, the Federal Character Commission is re-strengthening its synergy with media organizations in ensuring that merit and national integration remain the basis for recruitment in Nigeria. The Commission has commenced this new relationship by organizing a one-day sensitization workshop for media executives in Abuja. Ignatius Nkwo reports.
24, Femi Ibrahim, who represented the Director General of NTA, noted that the role of the Federal Character Commission is very critical to the nation's development as it is at the center of the distribution of material and natural resources.
We, on our part, we pledge to support in whatever form within the ambit of our own operations to support the Federal Character Commission in finding appropriate ways of resolving the conflict of distribution and identity.
The Voice of Nigeria try within its means to abide by the principle of the federal character in all its recruitment.
The workshop is also expected to equip the media practitioners on the mandate and workings of the Federal Character Commission. In Abuja, Ignatius Nkwo, NTN News.
And members of the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria, BON, who are also the owners of Nigeria's second national carrier, the Media Transmission Services, have been challenged to take their destiny into their hands with the migration from analog to digital next year. The Director General, National Broadcasting Commission, gave the advice at the organization's Executive Council meeting in Abuja. Musa has the details.
Federal, state, and privately owned media organization is fine-tuning a way forward for better and efficient service delivery for the digitization era. Director General, National Broadcasting Commission commends the broadcasters in their efforts and professionalism in the fight against Ebola virus in the country and advises them to carry on in that direction.
The only way digitization will work is if two things happen. If we bring broadcasters back into the driving seat or as co-drivers of this whole process. And the second thing is that we also address the issue of content.
He says his commission will provide all levels of engagement by promoting investment and innovation in the digital development.
And that we shall be collectively guided by wisdom, by experience.
I urge all of us to please be dogged. Let us do what is necessary.
We'll be able to say that this is the structure we are putting forward, this is how we want to fund our company, and this is how we want to meet the conditionalities of the National Broadcasting Commission.
Earlier, the chairman congratulated members as he explains the long, competitive and rigorous procedure the body went through to acquiring the license to become the country's second national carrier. Musa, NTA News.
A Panorama continues right after these messages. Please don't go away. Stay with us.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one.
Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Together, no matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's stop fighting each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Put Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
How can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding.
No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
Nigeria, the only country we can train with remarkable potentials to excel. Let us believe in ourselves and change our attitude for the sake of our country and generations unborn. Let us revive our cultural values, which are our essence as a nation. Let us renew the spirit of patriotism and hope in our dear country. Do not take or give bribe. Be punctual always. No more African time. We can't expect to be global citizens and operate on African time. Join the queue. Insist that people are attended to on a first-come basis, no matter who they are or where they come from.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
Thanks for staying with us. The coordinator, National Briefing Center, Mike Omeri, has confirmed that one of the kidnapped Chibok girls has been found by the police in Maraba, Mubi, Adamawa State. He made this known at a news briefing at the headquarters of the National Orientation Agency. Correspondent Mohammed Abdulkadri reports.
Following the laying down of arms by some members of Boko Haram in deference to the superior firepower of the Nigerian troops, a new visa of hope of defeating terrorism in Nigeria is imminently opened. Perhaps the contending question begging for an answer is what to do with 135 Boko Haram fighters who surrendered in Konduga, Borno State. Providing a clue on the way forward, Coordinator National Briefing Center Mike Omeri says a de-radicalization process has been put in place to reabsorb them back to the society.
The government of Nigeria has put in place a number of strategies to ensure that those insurgents that are turning themselves in undergo a process of de-radicalization and rehabilitation so that they can, be admitted into the society.
Director General said the fight against insurgency in Nigeria is receiving global attention.
And specific countries are providing effective collaboration towards ending the fight against insurgency.
On the 35 captured police officers in Gosa Police Training School, he said there is no clue yet why the remaining Chibok girls, Mike Omeri said the federal government is unrelenting to fish them out. The Director General, National Orientation Agency, Mike Omeri, commended the gallantry of the Nigerian troops and called for more support on the part of Nigerians towards winning the current fight against insurgency. From the National Briefing Center, Abuja, Muhammad Abdul Kadri, NTA News.
The Acting Inspector General of Police, Suleiman Abba, says only people with impeccable character will have the opportunity to seek election in 2015. He stated this at a meeting with the Police High Command in Abuja. Bonaventure Nwodo has the story.
Said the police will liaise with INEC and Department of State Security to conduct a background checks on aspiring politicians before the general election of 2015.
Candidates with criminal records are not allowed to contest. That is as regards to the screening.
Describing the Goza incident as highly regrettable, the police boss said unnecessary steps are being taken to ensure that similar action does not occur again.
We are still making efforts to locate some of our colleagues that were missing after the attack. What is promising is that even early this week, on Monday, we received information that one of them has surfaced.
IGP Suleiman Abba said effective policing can be achieved faster with active participation of the people. In Abuja, Bonaventure Wood, NTA News.
And for a bit of sports, let's join Fisayo Ogunfi.
Chairman National Sports Commission Tammy Danagogo has inspected facilities at the National Stadium Abuja to evaluate its readiness to host international competitions. Danagogo was conducted around the sporting edifice by the Director of Stadium Facilities, Shehu Ibrahim, inspected the main pitch with its sprinklers fitted, the main bowl seats, the press gallery, VIP area, commentary positions, the changing rooms, as well as toilet facilities available. The minister, who also visited the practice pitches outside the main bowl, said his ministry intends to regrass 2 additional training pitches to bring the stadium to a standard where one pitch will be reserved for the national team, another for the visiting teams, and a third for general use. The Nigerian Football Federation has expressed its happiness over modalities put in place for the successful organization of the 2nd edition of Nigeria's Football Awards, tagged the Pitch Awards. Matchmakers Consult, organizers of the event, say this year's edition, which is to be held in Lagos, will be an improvement on the maiden event held in Calabar, Cross River State. The event coordinators have reached partnership agreements with NTA Sports and an auditing firm, CIO, to make the nation's biggest football award ceremony a truly memorable occasion. Just hours to the much-anticipated 2014 Ryder Cup, the Gladiators are still engaging in verbal spats. Phil Mickelson of the US has hit back at the European team, making allusions to world number 1 Rory McIlroy's current court dispute with teammate Brian McDowell's management outfit.
Not only are we able to play together, we also don't litigate against each other. And that's a real plus, I feel, heading into this week.
Ryder Cup hostilities begin at Glen Eagles Friday morning. With Sports News Update, Fisayo Ogunfuyi, NTA News.
And that does it on this edition of Panorama. I want to thank you for your time. And as we leave you, remember, it is your right to challenge anybody suspected to be involved in unwholesome activities around you. Be security conscious. This message is from the Directorate of State Security. More reports will come your way at 4 on Nationwide. Join us then. Good afternoon.
All over the world, let there be love in your heart and mind.
Every time there is conflict and violence, women suffer loss. That is why the women of Nigeria are saying, let there be peace.
Let us love one another. Let us live together. We have no other country to go than Nigeria. Carry the message of peace to your walls. Carry it to your local governments. Carry it to your states.
Let there be peace.
This message is brought to you by Rural Initiative for Poverty Alleviation, Development and Empowerment.
You asked for it, and now you've got it. NTA Entertainment, your 24-hour entertainment channel.
showing on the Star Times DTT platform. NTAE, your one-stop entertainment channel.